Sammy and his companions stood before the open gate of shadows, which vibrated with a colossal dark energy. Behind it, the Storm King awaited them, encircled by the power of the dark crystals that threatened to swallow up the world. Sammy said firmly, "The waiting has ended. It's time to end this nightmare." Upon entering the Shadow Realm, they found themselves in a completely different world. The ground was cracked and filled with molten lava, and the sky was covered with relentless storms. In the midst of this catastrophic scene, the Storm King stood on a dark throne surrounded by a glowing black aura. The king laughed with a terrifying voice and said, "Finally, you've arrived. But you're too late. The world has already started to collapse, and you cannot stop it." The battle began with the Storm King launching thunderous storms and powerful lightning towards the team. Sammy used the 4 crystals to create an energy shield to protect everyone, but he felt enormous pressure from the surrounding dark energy. Xena bravely advanced towards the king, trying to strike him with her sword, but the black aura surrounding him prevented any attack from reaching him. The eagle released his arrows into the sky, directing them towards the weak points in the storm, but the king easily deflected them. The guardian cast spells in an attempt to reduce the storm's power, but knew her magical power alone would not suffice. Sammy said, "We can't defeat him as long as he remains this powerful. We need to find a way to disrupt the dark crystal energy he's using." The guardian noticed that the dark crystals surrounding the king glowed strangely with each attack he launched. She pointed to Sammy and said, "If you focus the energy of the 4 crystals we possess on the dark crystals, we might disable his power." The eagle said cautiously, "But this will expose Sammy to great danger. Are you ready for this?" Sammy confidently replied, "There is no other choice. If we don't do this now, everything is doomed." As the team distracted the Storm King, Sammy began to concentrate the energy of the 4 crystals. A beam of white light began to emanate from them, heading towards the dark crystals. Xena continued her brave attacks, trying to break the king's focus. The eagle soared high, releasing his arrows accurately to create gaps in the king's defense. The guardian cast spells to slow the king's movements and diminish the impact of his storms. But the king was not going to let Sammy succeed easily. He launched a powerful attack towards him, but Xena leapt at the last moment to protect him, taking a heavy blow that knocked her away. Sammy shouted, "Xena, no! I won't let any sacrifice be in vain." With all his might, Sammy unleashed the energy of the 4 crystals towards the dark crystals. The moment of impact was astonishing. A massive explosion shook the entire world. The black aura surrounding the king began to dissipate, and he screamed angrily, "This cannot be the end. I am the Storm King." Facing a choice, with his energy depleted, the king decided to confront Sammy directly. He descended from his throne, holding a dark sword covered in black flames. Sammy said, "I won't let you escape any longer. This is the end." An individual battle between Sammy and the king ensued. Every strike from the king's sword could tear the ground. Sammy used the crystals to both defend and attack, knowing that time was running out. In the crucial moment, Sammy realized that the only solution to defeat the king was to merge his energy with that of the 4 crystals, which might cost him his life. He told himself, "If this is the price to save everyone, I'll pay it." Sammy stood, raising the 4 crystals high, and started merging them with his energy. The light emitted was so bright that it engulfed the entire world, leading to the complete destruction of the king. When everything was over, the team found themselves in a peaceful and luminous place. The crystals had disappeared, and Sammy was exhausted but alive. The guardian remarked, "You did it, Sammy. You saved the world." Sammy looked at Xena, who was injured but smiling, and she said, "I told you you could do it." At the end of Part 50, the team returned to their world, carrying with them the memory of the final battle. But Sammy knew the world wasn't devoid of challenges, and he remained ready to fight for the good. Stay tuned for new adventures in the future.